Yo, 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 it's Misha Dex and
Yo, boy, Keymon. I'm glad you actually smiled through that whole process. We
I was
doing
frozen.
better.
I was frozen. I'm just kidding.
Damn, damn,
Gotcha.
that was actually pretty good. That was pretty good. But
You
no,
think
you would have been like this. I would have been like this if you would have been
I
frozen.
was like, why she gonna think I'm frozen?
Oh man, no, you just
That's sad.
smiled.
I've been practicing that too long.
Yeah, you just smiled because you're happy to see me. But it's all good. Where we at? How you feeling
See,
today? What's going on?
I was fine to that little insert. Happy to bye.
Let's
That
go.
man, preparing for the week ahead. Like there's so many things on my plate, but one thing I'm excited about, I got a business meeting with some like-minded females or women, I should say.
Okay.
One lady, um, she does what I do as far as like the motivational speaking and stuff on a bigger level. And then another young lady that happens to be my, late friend Kurt's god sister, who's does a lot of great community work. We're teaming up together
Mm.
to talk about doing retreat for women, affordable retreats to not only give women a space to talk about some of their traumas and life experiences, but also a
I'm
place
gonna
to
take a L.
fellowship. Please,
Sorry.
please don't scare the people.
Damn.
My glasses reflected off of it. But no, just just something that I've thought about doing, and I don't think I necessarily thought about it in a collaborative way.
Mm.
So I'm actually pretty excited about the meeting and what it's supposed to, reveal for us God-fearing women with a plan to help build our communities back, one household, one face,
Yeah, at a
person
time.
at a time. Yeah. So
So question for you with all that amazingness happening, what does it actually mean when someone says like, or when you say she's doing it on a bigger scale? What is that? What is that based on?
mean her
The
reach. It always goes back to reach, right?
okay.
Like I believe her reach is bigger because I'm new to
Mm.
the entrepreneurship full time. She's been entrepreneuring for multiple years. So when I say reach, the sustainability that comes with being an entrepreneur, knowing that you have backing, having multiple contracts in the bag, like the thing that I'm
So
trying to
you
get
attach
to.
your reach to a dollar amount,
No, no, no. You
or
you cut me off when I was explaining.
well,
I
okay,
have
go ahead.
contracts, but my contracts don't have the longevity hers does. So my contracts be for the event. Her contract is like measured out for like a year or so. That's what I mean by reach. Like our
Mm,
contract sustainability looks different. And
okay,
of course that comes with more income from it, but
okay.
that's not the reach if you have all these contracts, but you have piss poor reviews, right? Like you suck at what you do.
Yeah, I I guess my challenge to you would be a word challenge. Would just
Okay.
be come up with a different name than reach when it comes to that because that's what where my mind went for you is like, well, like what are we basing reach off of? And because again, yes, you can get a longer contract, but is the message as impactful? And then again, not to,
No,
but
I
what
get
I'm
what you're
saying,
saying. No, I
just
think the protective side, like, well, I know how protective you are of me. Like, regardless of how much you hate on me constantly,
wow.
you're the same dude that told me I can't get a boyfriend forever. And then I got one. He's like, see, this is why you don't need one. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I know you're a protective spirit. That's why I can't even be mad at you challenging me on that because in actuality, um, you don't want to see me putting down something that you also see
Mm,
the power of, right? You
yeah.
see me work, you see the work that I'm doing constantly. But I also know that I'm not where I would like to
Well,
be.
yeah, for sure.
And so, but I get that. I don't have to say reach more than I can say impact. Like her impact looks different,
Mm,
and it shows. But
mm.
it's not to say that I can't reach it or it's unreachable.
Or your impact is not as big,
Yeah, so I get that.
especially after like all the stories and the conversations that I hear you having that you tell me about like with
Hmm.
the folks like after your events and the way I see you taking mics from the mariachi bands and the restaurants.
Happy birthday, happy
You
birthday.
get what I'm saying? So the reach
It's because the energy
is
look
big.
different. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Reach, that's part of it. So yeah, so but but not to
You
dwell
just
on
had to
that.
throw that
But
in there, huh?
or because I was like, wait, what is going
Well,
on? But
wait, pause. For clarity,
mhm,
I was actually at this brunch for once, minding my business.
I'm
And
sure.
he came to me and handed me the mic.
Yeah,
I never took it.
yeah.
I was there trying to just enjoy the view, and
And you
I'm in
just
business
flourished in the
mode.
moment.
And he just walked up to me and he put the mic in front of me, and I was like, oh, well, you can't give me a mic and think I'm not
Yeah,
going to either rap,
yeah.
sing, or do something.
Exactly. Speaking of rap, we still waiting on our moment. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so how you doing today?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. I've been uh proactively um seeking to move back into the classroom full time.
Okay.
I think that's been a thing for me lately, and not in a rush type way, but I think I've come up with a plan for myself,
Hmm.
and, and I think it's going to be all about God in terms of showing me that He agrees with this plan.
I was about to say,
And so no, so in my head, I it looks like this, but also taking the signs that He's given me that if it's supposed to play out this way. And
I
so
was I was gonna ask if you invited God into this conversation because you know
uh,
I'm big on we could say set plans, but we gotta invite
oh,
the big
definitely,
fish. Yeah.
definitely. I know it's not about me at this moment.
Did
But
you
I
just digging your
think
nose?
no, I had an itch. Hey,
Why be
hey,
negative?
hey, when you be in the car riding and that one special, ooh, hey, low key, I don't be having no shame in the car. I just like, I know people
Ooh,
look at it and be like, damn, that dude, oh,
oh, look at that nose. Was that God's plan?
nah, but
No, that was funny.
I think what what I've done though, um, to reach out to him and kind of I think seek his guidance without asking for his guidance, and
Mhm.
that's probably what I should pray for. Actually, no, nope. I did. I stumbled across
I stumbled across this photograph.
this small group of folks,
Okay.
um,
So
and
when you say stumble, like you mean in person or
yeah, in
okay.
person, and they invited me to this prayer circle instantly, right? Right when I met them, like, oh, dude, we're having prayer circle. You wanna join? And obviously, I'm not going to turn down a prayer circle. That's like a big no no, right? Um, and it was five of us,
I like how your
and
eye twitched when you was counting those. Like,
everybody get a twitch. Um, and each person just pretty much went around and said who they wanted to pray for that in that particular moment. Right? I had one of the guys who invited me just battled prostate cancer and just went through the
mm,
procedure. So that was his prayer, just just thankful. And then I had another the other buddy who was there. He was praying for a friend who committed suicide and praying, for that whole um, process. And it came to me, and my prayer was guidance. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me what you have in store for me. These are my intentions behind my thoughts, and why I want to move the way I want to move now. So show me if this is the way.
So
So
can I say something?
sure.
You don't ever have to tell God your intentions.
No, I know. I
No,
know.
but hear me out when I say this, so that you always talk. We talk about prayer and what that looks like,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
right. You never have to tell God your intentions. What I would like to hear that you ask God for is not only show you like guidance how to get there, but how to
Hmm.
maintain once I am there.
Mm.
And know when to leave there.
Yeah.
Wherever there is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of times we pray to be places and
Mm.
then we are there and we get comfortable.
Had no clue.
Right, get comfortable there, and it's only for a matter of time. And then because we've planted our feet so stern, we forget about the plan that we prayed for, right?
Hmm.
And so we get our feet planted there, and then it's time to leave, and we don't know it's time to leave because that's not what we want.
Yeah.
Now it's not what God plan is. It's now we back into the arithmetics of
Yeah.
this is what I want.
Yeah. No, for
That's
sure.
all. Because
No,
I
I
know
agree.
God, He knows your intentions, but
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
just
I
happy
agree.
to hear that you were in a prayer circle and for sure asking for guidance.
Yeah, it was so I wasn't expecting it, but and and those be the moments where you're like, okay, I, I I got you. I see you. Um, so yeah, so just trying to move with the right intentions, knowing that I am gonna slip sometimes. It might be a week straight where I'm good, but
That's the imperfections of being human. I think we put too much um we hold ourselves to too much sometimes. Like I'll give you an
mm,
example. Daisy was tired as hell the other day. Like tired. It was so bad that I hadn't even turned around and looked at her, but
mm,
her energy was just like I felt it, right? Like instantly. So I turned
mm,
around and I put my phone on mute because I was talking to one of my cousins. So I put the
mm,
phone on mute. I said, "Are you okay?" She was like,
mm,
"Yeah, yeah, right."
mm,
And so I said, and then I had something I need to tell her, but after I said it, I was like, depending on what's going on with her, this is probably the worst time to bring it up.
yeah.
So then she walks out, and then like 10 minutes later, she comes in, and I put my phone on mute again. I said, dude, what the hell? Like, what's wrong? She was like, I'm just tired. I'm tired. And she had just got off work, went to Costco, and then in her mind, she started doing like little house chore type stuff. I said, dude, if you tired, sit down. Like, who is holding you to this standard that when you're tired, you need to keep going versus taking a moment? I was like,
Mm,
I can put the groceries up. Like,
mm,
chill,
mm,
take a moment. I said, because I feel your energy and I don't like it. So
mm.
she probably gonna look at me crazy when she see this episode, but it's true, right? Like we put ourselves in these spaces where we feel like we gotta perform, but there's no one there to clap. There's no one to
Mm,
measure if you did it well enough. We just have these like these military drills that don't
yeah,
exist.
these unspoken expectations
Yeah,
that we
like
put on
we
ourselves.
right? And then it's like, who's the authoritarian that we are seeking to please in
Yeah,
this space? And
yeah,
nobody. So yeah, like you may slip, and it's okay. I think that's the ebbs and flows of life of adulting and trying to find healing. And
yeah.
speaking of healing, um, a few steps back, you mentioned that somebody prayed because their friend committed suicide. Well, September is Suicide Awareness Month,
Mm,
so check in with that friend if you know them, just to, not that they're going to
yeah,
commit suicide, but just
yeah.
to, because they can get triggered easily, because this month is all about that. And I actually want to do a documentary or an interview with some folks about it. The second part about the imperfection is I'm doing something this weekend. We didn't talk about it in advance, but I kept having this vision of having Thanksgiving dinner at my house with family, and I know where I am with certain family members and things or whatever. But what was the point of me going to therapy? What is the point of me going on the healing journey if I don't test out how
The
far I've
action.
come? Right?
Yeah,
So I can do all this work, but if I'm not, it's like not utilizing the skills that I was able to gain from it. And like I said, I threw my therapist off when I told her about this, but I invited my family and my siblings over to my house Saturday
Okay.
because I kept saying like we need to be in this space together, right? For me to see what I need to see from it. And when it's all said and done, it's understanding I'm the one doing the work. And so I can't come in expecting them to be different, right? This is not a them moment. This is a me moment, not in a selfish way, but to see how far I've grown,
Mm.
how much I've, come from this therapeutic space. But I also don't want to be a person that talks about healing and I can't practice what I'm talking about.
So what's so what do you want to get out of this? Like, are we talking in like, are you gonna be? I wouldn't say dismissing tough conversation, but this is just to capture their energy again and see like what it's like now versus back
I think
then,
that
or
there's no, I think the lens is you're looking through the wrong lens. It's about me.
mm,
It's
okay,
understanding that they are who they are. Like,
yeah,
again, we
ain't gonna
talk
change.
about you don't have, yeah, like you don't have control of anything but you. And
Yeah.
we say these things, but we don't really live
Mm,
to that standard. And so for me, it's like, okay, I know what brother gonna say something
yeah,
about this. I know
yeah,
how my first of all, I'm planning to interview my dad while he's here. That's just he don't know
yeah.
that though. But it's really just to again, it's facing off with this idea that there's no room for black healing. A couple of episodes ago, I told you I don't come from a family that forgives.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to be the one to break that cycle. And I'm not saying you do it in a way that causes you to be harmed. I'm not saying I'm going in with this expectation that we're going to get along. I'm coming in with the idea of knowing the history, but knowing what I want for me.
Mm,
And and that's controlling me. That's my how I respond to things that I already know is going to be said. That's me responding to the reaction to certain things that can take place. At the same time, I hope I get caught off guard. I hope I'm wrong about
mm,
a few things that's in my head that I won't say. Like
yeah.
I hope that I'm wrong because being wrong in those instances means that something went right.
Mm,
And I believe it's starting with me opening up my safe haven.
mm,
Like my dad and some of my family members never even been to this new home.
yeah.
So
You got to go
it's
pick them up too, or
you stupid. Now you being disrespectful.
no,
Don't do my family. You know,
no. See,
look,
man,
anybody else can say something, but that
I
can
just
talk
wanted to see
about
the
my
project.
daddy lazy eye, but you can't.
I just wanted to see the protective side you have for your family. So that was it. That was
Look,
it. No, I like it. I like it. I like it. I
no,
like it. I like it.
and I didn't say anything because I sat on it and I kept having this vision. I'm like, how am I supposed to have them over for Thanksgiving and we not like all on one accord like
Yeah,
that? Like,
yeah.
so then like I said, I have God and me moments every morning at 8. And my niece texted me before I got into my morning worship. And ironically, she was just texting because she was thinking about me. And I told her, I said, that's crazy. I said, I'm about to enter my morning worship. And I was asking if she was okay. And so she asked me what that was about. And I
Mm,
said, well, it's about making sure I'm holding myself accountable for having time with God, like
mm,
specifically and intentionally. And this is what I'm getting from it every morning. And I was like, I have to get up and I have to be present, and it's a little court. And so she was like, is it online? I said, no, this is something that I use my Bible for, but it's me and God.
mm, mm,
And so, and then in the beginning it was just me, and then I invited Tranisha, and so now she's
mm,
during the week does it with me. But anyway, afterwards, I didn't even tell Tranisha about nothing. I just called my brother Nick, and I said, "Hey, if I did something like this, would you, Anyway, went through the backstory, and then I called my niece, and I asked her, and she was like, "Oh my God, yes," and she was
mm,
like, Auntie, like honestly, you're the only one that can get us all together. Like at the end of the day, that's what we be missing. We be missing the way you put events together, the way you bring our functions together, like all the functions that you
Yeah.
ever created, um, have been the best memories. And I said, well, honestly, baby girl, I'm gonna give you credit this time. I said, because you reaching out this morning with the intention just to check on me jump started something because it made me realize, who am I not reaching out to? Who am
Mm,
I not checking in on? And I said, so honestly, as much as it's my idea, it was because you implemented something in me to do this.
yeah.
And so, and we've had a talk before recently where she was just like, I wish my daughter experienced you like I did when I was a kid.
Mm,
And I said, okay, I see where this is going,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so not blaming myself for my family not getting together, but owning the fact that there's only one
You're
person.
a key piece. You're a
Yeah,
key piece. And you know, for your niece to say that, and then for in in the last season, you mentioned how I think it's your nephew, how he talked about his son wanted his son to experience you the way that he got the chance to experience you. So these are all stamps. It's almost like a passport, right? When you think about
of
like
passage for
yeah,
real.
yeah, you know, and but also a stamp on the way you impact, the way you motivate, the way you show empathy, the way you show up for others, the way you just kind of embody the whole I have love, but my love looks like this for everyone. Or it might look different for everyone, but the love is still the love.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something to definitely run with and, give yourself a pat on the back going into this, this, this Saturday. But not, but I just definitely whatever you have in your head that you think is going to happen, eliminate it. Just let it go.
Yeah, that's the plan. It's the plan too, but it's just one of those things like you know what you know, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, no, for sure.
Like you know what some people are gonna come in with. Just that's
Yeah,
just who they are. And what I'm hoping to do from that is not react to it. Because
yeah.
I know, like, right, it's like
Because
when
reacting is a ooh,
right, the reaction
react.
is how dare you when you know I'm gonna do this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Understanding that's a possibility, but
Ooh, that's the key.
but I
Reaction.
I this is the thing though. My plan is to be welcoming
hmm
and at the same time take a step back to take in what's been missing, right? Like I miss my dad's stupid ass jokes. Like he
Yeah,
say stuff
yeah.
like and some
Is it?
stuff be
Yeah,
bad. Like
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this story. This is probably the worst representation of Mr. Poindexter. We were together one football season, and it was during a time a supermodel had jumped off of a building and killed herself.
hmm
And everybody was like, right? Like it was like, dang, that was dark. And then here come my daddy. I guess you wanted to see what was down there. You know this man, Keymon. I was
Oh
just like,
man.
what?
Like
You don't
what?
do chuckle. He chuckled and it was like, you don't do that.
Wow.
But again, like who we know who we
Yeah,
dealing with.
yeah.
Like even with the group text, once I confirmed everybody that was coming, I didn't even include them in a group text. Let me tell
Yeah.
you why. If you include them in a group text, why the hell my phone keeps going off? My phone done died, and I'm getting ding and all this damn thing, right? Just tell me the plan. But what's gonna happen is I left them out. Everybody iPhone user, so it's blue. So we
Yeah.
good on that note, right? He is going to come here Saturday talking about I didn't know shit. I didn't know. Didn't nobody tell me I was supposed to bring nothing. I
Oh
would have
man.
known that. I would have, or don't let nobody have not brought something that he's
Yeah,
expected to be in.
yeah, yeah.
Well, if I was in the group chat. I would
But all alone would have been pissed off if he because
be.
I'm man, I swear I feel like I'm with him. 'Cause don't put me in a damn group chat, especially when I don't want to hear. I should go silent immediately.
Right. Yo, it's funny though. I do say that I have stepped into the space that I've been praying for, which is grace. And I
Mm,
know that grace doesn't always look, first of all, there are so many words that have multiple, depending on what perspective you're looking at, it looks different.
yeah.
So when I talk about being in a grace season, I'm not just talking about me being graceful to myself, but applying that grace in spaces that
Mm,
don't always seem very graceful,
graceful.
right? And
Yeah.
also learning I got a new story I can laugh about,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Whether versus not having a memory at all of something
Yeah. No,
because
for
I've
sure.
excluded myself so much. So anyway, I that's what's going on this Saturday, and then the following day I leave for 5 days for vacation. So it's the best setup.
Yeah, yeah, to get your woosah on. Nah, I love it. I love it. That's dope. That's dope.
So what
Mm.
about you this week? What's something that is pending or that you're looking forward to that's going to be uplifting for you, or the intention is to be uplifting?
Well, go to Vegas. No, but also to celebrate boy who's getting married because their wedding is literally the Thursday that we get back from Vegas. So I get back, I'm gonna go Friday to Sunday, but then
Okay.
the wedding is in a few days. So just being around that joy, that happiness, that love for them, and actually seeing another young couple go through it and actually go through it
Yeah.
is dope. Because I mean, at the end of the day, man, like you know, being in a relationship, sometimes sometimes it does not look promising when
Mm,
you're in it, right? You have the frustration, you have those moments, but then when you get to experience someone else's joy, what they've been through, the steps that they have taken outside of because we all know that everything doesn't look peachy in everyone's home, right? It looks
mhm.
different for everyone, but to bask in someone else's joy and realize like it's really not that bad.
It's the power of energy.
Yeah,
Like it's the unfolding. Like this is why reality TV is such a big hit. It's because we nosy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
As
Facts,
humans,
facts,
you're nosy. So you're
facts,
like, oh well,
facts.
if this fool did this, let me see how this play out. Because I
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
the
yeah.
re- the reality about reality shows, we know that they're not real in so many ways, but it gives you hope of this can play out differently. And I
Mm.
feel like, I just had this conversation, by the way. I said, I think I need to write a book called The Single Friend. And then at the
Hmm.
bottom, it says, uh, with intention, like
Mm.
being single with the intention of knowing that I'm not desperate for a partner.
Yeah,
Like
no, for
as much
sure.
as I would love one, that's easy. You can jump in a relationship with anybody, but what is that going to do for my life if it's not
Yeah, if it's not,
it's not a safe space, right?
yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times people be like, "Oh, don't get advice from the single friend." No, you probably need to talk to the single friend
Hmm.
because there's gonna be some perspective
Yeah,
that you like. Wait
yeah,
a minute. But I also know the fruits that hang from the tree of a relationship where you're supposed to feed off of and grow. And is my partner's tree producing,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And you know, and that tree and that production of that tree might is going to look totally different than what you expect for it to look like.
Yep. I'll
And
be honest,
that's
we got a avocado tree and it looks like a bush. Like
yeah.
because I'm so used to trees being tall, like
Mm,
so we didn't even know for a year until later that this bush that we was trying to get rid of was an avocado tree.
gosh, yeah,
Sometimes it don't even
yeah,
look
yeah,
like what you
yeah,
think and it's producing your favorite fruit or vegetable.
yeah. Oh,
So I
that's a good way to end this one. Ah, that's a
you leave
great
it.
way. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's a
No,
good
but
nugget.
I think it's just
That's a good
it's just
nugget.
important that we're not always in relationships, right? Even though I'm not currently in one and I'm not married, been engaged, been in relationships, been through the the ups and flows of that.
Where he
But
at? Where
with
he
what
at?
which one? Look, which one? Yo, I listen. One thing I can stand on is I'm the one that got away, and
Yeah,
I know that factually because
that's
I
gonna.
think
Please
about
make this be our teaser for next week. But go ahead, say, repeat it again, and go into whatever you was gonna say.
am the one that got away because I will leave you soon as you own that BS. I listen, baby ain't got a problem saying goodbye. It's the consistent hellos. If you can get consistent hellos from me, you winning. But when baby say goodbye, it's like you never existed. Because one thing I'm gonna do is invest in my healing. If I
Mm,
don't, and it may not look healthy for some to be like, oh, I was out, right out, because I can give you one or two chances to play in my face before I be like, you know what,
yeah,
it's that's what it is. And we've all been there. And then back to the tree analogy, like I can't be over here dry and not producing while you over here, you got fruit falling all off the tree because I done sat up and made sure you in the right sunlight. I done
yeah,
made sure you was
yeah,
watered and
yeah,
poured into.
yeah.
And
No, I
I'm over
can't.
here.
Nah, that's a good. That's a good one.
Nah,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, even friendships look the same, right?
yeah,
Like there's different boundaries, of course, between friendships and lovers, but even that same energy you put in your friendships, and I think that's why a lot of my friendships are dope because I treat them as such.
yeah,
I treat them as such. I show up, I water, and as hard as it is for me to ask for it back, I need it.
yeah, yeah.
You
You
know,
need, but that's the power of having the circle and the community that that obviously they show up for different things, but also to know that shit, you the water looks different. The water looks different. You getting refilled looks different from person to person, and that's the important piece of it.
right? I will. I want to end with this though. Yesterday was a struggle for me, and for Asa to be like, call Auntie Misha and had no clue that
Yeah,
yesterday was a struggle. Honestly, I have been sitting on this all day that I got off the phone FaceTime with her and I was like, this is the second time I had a rough day. And this baby,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, and I'm only gonna give her this credit one time because she's gonna be back on her BS the next time I see her. But I want to say, like, even developing the relationships with these babies and showing
Mm,
them reciprocity and loving on them, these are moments like the fact that I ain't even around and Auntie Misha came up for her.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
pure, like, whoa.
yeah,
Continue doing
yeah.
what you're doing. Continue to be mean to her because she's gonna come around. But no, but
uh,
making sure that we pouring into these baby trees too, because these baby trees turn into adult trees
yeah, for sure.
and you want them to have that. But with that being said, why
Why
be
be negative?
negative?
Get off. Bye.
Hey, let's go.